Alright, let's try this again. Okay, we're gonna try this again. I think we're back. I think we're good. Little technical difficulties. But I think we are good to go now. Alright, anyway. Welcome back. We're just building out our Black Templar kill team right now. And I think we're good. Looks like the stream is holding up, which is great. Last Gambit, welcome in. Your wife sat there watching you gear up all your classes to perfection with accurate customizations, offering to 40k book for reference. After about 2 hours, I turned the game off without playing a match. That is the best way to spend your time in this game, man. Then my wife said, you just played Barbie doll dressed up on your spaceman for 2 hours and quit. Nah, worth it. Every time. Worth it every single time. We're just creating our Black Templar kill team right here, because I was messing around earlier with my Tech Marine, and I ended up coming up with this for my Black Templar Tech Marine. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to make every single guy lore-accurate Black Templars. I got 2 Deathwatch veterans on it, Assault, and the Heavy. This is the Vanguard right here. Bulwark, of course, with the brand new face customization, sniper, heavy, and then Tech Marine. You're going Dark Angels with your Tech Marine? Heck yeah, man. You know what I really need them to do with the Tech Marine is I need them to add the Dark Angels DLC head with the hood. Even if it's not lore accurate, I feel like a hood on a Tech Marine would look sick as fuck. Tech needs a lot of cosmetic stuff. Yes, it does. I posted a whole video on YouTube going over when they went over their community update and they referenced how they didn't add in a bunch of cosmetics for the Tech Marine because of time constraints. I sort of went on like a little rant, like, you know, they had plenty of time between patch 11 and patch 12 to make all these changes because they had announced Tech Marine so early on. And the development for Tech Marine, I think it went well, but I don't think it's an excuse to say, due to time constraints, they didn't add in the needed cosmetics because a lot of them are just like drag and drop, I feel like. They should be able to drag and drop them from class to class. Like the Deathwatch stuff, for instance. Like, I was so excited to make a Deathwatch. Look, I even have a preset Iron Hands Deathwatch Tech Marine ready to go, but no Deathwatch shoulder or gauntlet. And I need that. I need that. I can't play my Deathwatch kill team, you know, with my 7 characters if they're missing their Tech Marine. You're guessing they'll drop a bunch with the Tech Marine champion? Well, so we're not sure, actually, what the champion skin is going to be for Tech Marine because there were some leaks regarding the Iron Hands champion, and those leaks pointed more towards it being a tactical again, which would be interesting, but I wouldn't be surprised if they made another tactical because the majority of the classes in this game use Mark X Tacticus armor. So that would be like Tactical, Assault, Bulwark. They all use Mark X Tacticus. So if you make one character for the tactical, you can then use those pieces across those 4 different classes. Assault, Tactical, Bulwark, and now Tech Marine. But it does leave, you know, Vanguard and Sniper and Heavy out of the mix unless they make separate pieces specifically for those classes. So I'm really hoping that the Iron Hands champion will be a Tech Marine. There's no reason it really shouldn't. At the same time, I don't know if Saber's really, like, on the same page as the community when it comes to what we're actually looking for these champion skins. Oh, let me check my perk loadout and stuff. Okay. Explosive enfilade, melee damage, and decapitating stratagem. If not Iron Hands, I can't think who else should be considered. Maybe Dark Angels, but I don't think we need that. For Tech Marine, the classes that I really think should be the champion is number 1, Iron Hands, of course. You know, that's their whole thing. The other one that's really, really interesting... Yeah, I don't really know. I honestly don't really know. I don't think, you know, any other class really fits. Like, if we're going to look at first founding chapters, you know, maybe Salamanders... Because, like, they're, like, really big on, like, weaponry and the forge and stuff like that. But not even really, like, all these other chapters don't prioritize Tech Marines and Iron Fathers like the Iron Hands do. So that's my biggest thing. I want to make sure we're good to go on YouTube as well. Yeah, we're good on YouTube. Perfect. Fantastic. Amazing. Okay, great. Alright, let's jump in some matches here. We're gonna play some hard stratagems. I already did this Inferno one. This Inferno one was brutal. With the booby trap, battlefield condition, Majoris level and higher enemies explode upon death and deal damage to squad members. If you're standing next to your squad member and they execute a Majoris or higher, it'll blow you up in like a one-shot. Crazy. I balanced Omnicyanax, right? Yeah. And we're just going to jump right in on solo, and then if people want to join, they can join us. You're most happy with the Raven Guard cosmetics so far? Oh yeah, the Raven Guard cosmetics that they did, I think for both the cosmetic pack and the champion skin have been really, really great. I'm pretty happy with the Space Wolves ones as well. I'm not real happy with the Salamanders ones though.
Numbers growing. Retaking those sectors is a lost cause.
Look at our squad.
Yeah. Damage, so we need a more targeted approach.
Good looks.
Commandeer a Nova Cannon implosive warhead from the Navy supplies in the Astra Militarum depot and deliver the payload by rail. We shall collapse the superstructure from below.
1,000,000 tons of plastic shall rain down on their wretched carapaces.
Oh, that's a guardsman.
The battle disturbs Avarax's arid landscape. Dust schools can arise with little warning. If conditions obscure the path, look for the flashing guideposts. Reloading. Repurposing battlefield system. Advance when it is clear. Seagulls Alpha Beast cycling cartridges.
We're gonna get unlimited servo gun volleys here.
All cyclones of sediment.
Vanishing movements. Small lines of fire escape. I can sight the neural through. All the field runners.
The dust storm has settled.
There comes a Lictor. Calling it. Oh, another Ravener. Oh my gosh.
to reflect
Ah,
continuous atmospheric
that's just a
irritation.
fucking bitch. How's my sniper even down? My sniper's getting cooked as well.
Death averted. Atmospheric conditions have returned to normal.
Xenos falter in the face of our fire. Activating tarantula sentry gun.
There goes our range advantage.
War gear shows no signs of environmental damage.
It's always the tricky part with hard stratagems. They're just brutal as fuck. Especially on solo.
Can't do its job. This tarantula is still battle-worthy. Inserting fresh magazine.
You said some of your fave units will never see this series in a playable way, though.
Lieutenant, we have arrived at the ammo dump.
Activate the quartermaster's console and wait for machine spirit. Instructed to load the explosive warhead onto the train and assist it when necessary. I can restore this sentry to operational status.
I hate how they spawn spores right on top of the dead enemy. That's a modifier on this.
Tactical supplies located. Armor shredding deployed. Sector classified Xenos destroyed.
What?
Reloaded. Tyranid leader mix destroyed.
Oh, like Dark Angel's inner circle unit would be sick.
This is
Yeah, it's more.
Build a Nova cannon implosive
I think. I mean, I would hope in Space Marine 3 that they really get super specific, like per unit. But in this game, I feel like it's Saber's first time with 40k IP, so they're just trying to like. They're trying to hit all the major chapters in like a decent way to do them justice. And they're even struggling a little bit with that, so.
Son of Gilliman.
I would love to see some Dark Angels Inner Circle stuff. I would love to see, like, you know, Wolfguard specific stuff and all that type of stuff. A2.
Cycle ambulance of lubrication through conveyor system in accordance with the calendar of holy intervals.
Request acknowledged. Organic systems critical. Ravana eradicated. Nothing that cannot be repaired. Replenishing ordnance.
Decapitating Stratagem actually might be a busted perk. Like, one servo gun volley will take out an entire Majoris or Extremis, and you automatically get your whole servo gun back. You said Saber supports their games for a very long time, which is great. They still support World War Z. Yeah, that's true. I do see them still releasing content for, you know, older games. I think with Space Marine 3, though, I think they're only going to support Space Marine 2 up to a point because they're going to want to push, you know, obviously sales of Space Marine 3. Yeah, updates until SM3, maybe a little bit past that. And then eventually they're just going to taper it off hard, I feel like. So people are, you know, they're going to invest all of their resources in Space Marine 3. With the success that this game has seen,
To the train.
it only makes sense.
Secure it for our cargo.
Because this is the premier, you know, Warhammer 40k game, pretty much. Oh gosh, look at those spore mines just wreck me. So many spore mines. Oh. So many spore mines here.
Functionality decreasing.
Yes, I would say the combat, the executions, I would say the narrative overall for what they tried to accomplish, they did really, really well. Now they just need to lock down those fine details with the cosmetics and making adjustments to, you know, new classes and stuff like that much quicker. And I think they'll be in a great spot, honestly.
Formidable tyranid organisms evident. Replenishing ordnance. Enemy units caught
Yeah, PvP is something they really need to explore and dive into in the next game. It's a huge missed opportunity for them, you know, with game modes and balancing. You know, they do little tiny things to PvP in this game, but they really need to, like, lock in on PvP for the next game. Because there's a huge community they're pretty much just neglecting with not updating PvP the way that they should.
Vitals depleted. Heroes have identified. Pursue battle formation.
Oh, okay.
Cycling power flows into the core of fresh forces. The storm has dissipated.
Let's see if I can't get this.
Repurposing even humble servitors are instrumental in the
I gotta get back and help my brother here. I'm lagging. Might lag out. Got him up.
The dust storm has settled.
Look at that, bro. Come on. Another one. Another servo gun volley. This thing just fucks. Another one. Let's go. Nah, Harikusa, the stream went down for a little bit. I had to reset. You didn't miss anything. We're lighting this guy up, man. Get in here. Got him. So like or a Ravner on the field. Come on, let's go. Low on ammo here. I have to move back to. Oh, okay, no, I gotta go here. Gotta take this. Oh my gosh. You're not out of the fight with the Tech Marine, that's for sure. This perk is actually busted. Like, I just keep getting it regen. Oh, bro. Oh, there's...
The lights will guide us, please.
Yeah, this is hard stratagems. I don't know what my guy's doing back here.
Brothers have fallen. I must not fail Primarch.
We were kind of cooking, but I was out of ammo and everything. I should have pushed to my sentry gun if I could have. Oh, this isn't looking good. He might get taken out by Bramble, yeah. This dude's playing Dark Souls. It fucking happens, man. We were cooking there with the decapitating stratagem perk. That thing might be busted. That might be a busted perk. Ugh. And I haven't tried it with plasma AoE either. The normal servo gun is just so good for horde clear. Might try exfiltration. Because I'm pretty positive the heroic 13 strength, 9 speed, 1 cleaving potential. And this is 13 strength, 8 speed, 3 cleaving potential. I mean, it's the same. The speed might be to our benefit, though. I'm actually going to use the heroic, and I'm going to adjust the perk tree here. Go for an Omniscion rush build. Oops. Yeah, focus on the big boys. Yeah, it's only because, like, the Tech Marine, even, like, the chip damage from Minoris is gonna, like, take you down. Like, if you're getting chased around by, like, Gaunts, Hormagaunts and Termagaunts, and you have low HP and no armor, you're still gonna get chipped down and die, because he's still so squishy, like, comparatively. Let's run some disruption. Like, typically I would take a... Oh, actually, let me just double check something. Like, typically my favorite build so far with the Tech Marine is Precision Enhancement with this one right here, Strategic Gun Strike. Targets Majoris level or higher enemies and deals 20% more damage when the target is 20 meters or more or away. When the target is more than 20 meters away. And then Lethal Perimeter, I love that. But just overall, like if I'm trying to clear out stuff around me, taking the regular servo gun with Decapitating Stratagem, you get it back like every single time. It's just on constant refresh. So like I can pop like 5 servo guns in a row. Yeah, if you don't need armor, then you could definitely go like just straight for the Majoris. That's what I usually do. That's what I would typically recommend, like focusing more so on like the Majoris extremis level enemies, clearing them out, and then focusing on the boss. You've maxed out and started to play with Plasma Servo Gun with perk that resets if Majoris killed, and it focuses on Majoris plus. That's a good setup as well. Like if I went... if you went Plasma with the same perk, Decapitating Stratagem, and then you went Strategic Gun Strike as well. Yeah, Tech Marine it is hard to find a lobby right now that doesn't have like a Tech Marine in it. But he is very fun. He is very fun to play. Like that whole sequence with that second boss fight was just very fun in general. See? I might switch class. This is a busted perk setup too. You wish perk reroll wasn't 750, or at least don't cap the currency at 2,000? Yeah. Maybe like 500, 250 even maybe, to reset your prestige perks. They intentionally do that though to make people keep coming back to play. See, then the host terminates the game. And I was ready to go.
Attend me.
Now I'm the host. See, here's what we'll do. I'll switch to Bulwark right here.
Oh, the God Emperor! For the Emperor! For the Omnicide!
You said you'd be okay with 1,000 cap if restarting Prestige wouldn't be 700, but like 100? Yeah, I'd be okay with that too. I feel like most people would be cool with that. Your baffle resetting perk points on weapons doesn't cost anything. Yeah, that would suck ass. If you had to keep resetting your weapon perks with requisition. Same here, Last Gambit. Same here. I'm big on like the lore accurate looks. So I do like a lot of research, and that's why on my YouTube channel I post like the lore accurate customization videos. You see Skittles, you find a new game, yeah. Yeah, Skittle Marine. The ones that do like the Buzz Lightyear Marine. I'm really big on the lore accuracy because it's just like 40k, right? And don't get me wrong, the rule cool like is still like the #1 thing. Like if people want to play a certain way, then they should, because it just brings more people to the game. But I like when everything is consistent.
However, our forces never rally the Cadian forces, repel the Tyranids, and disrupt the Thousand Suns plans at the Cathedral. Seek out Major Kivar of the 22nd Company on the battlefield. Repel the Xenos. Eradicate the traitor forces. Almost consuming our resistance.
Who addresses the warriors of the Adeptus Astartes? Identify yourself.
Marines. Praise the Emperor. The signals are over so fast. They tore right through us. We need to speak with Major Kivar. The Xenos got him. Major Kivar is gone. Transferred command to me. I am Commander Hotel, 22nd Company. It is my duty to secure the Cathedral Gate Station as our fallback point.
Hold your position, Commander. Fire support is inbound.
Every armor piece is of different color, Hayakusa? Is that how you set it up? Oh, we got a little early Gene Seed. I'll carry that. So we can help this guy level his Tech Marine. I'll take that. Thank you very much. Boss fight right away. Nice. Oh, they're fighting each other. I'm not worried about them. when you see a player with proper knee and pauldron markings, I see the wine glass DiCaprio meme in my bed. Or in your head.
We stand united in hatred against mankind's enemies. Blockage removal complete. We can alter their defenses.
Nice.
That pitiful Xenos was but an abhorrent reliance. And that betrayal path end in agony.
So last Gambit, you said that maybe SM3 will give us great sword, power swords, and chain swords. So Saber has already expressed that they want to bring two-handed great swords to Space Marine 2. They actually expressed that they want to do that over Lightning Claws. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was going to be one of the next weapon additions to this game. And I've spoke about this before, but everyone, after Tech Marine release, everyone was like, oh, what's the next class after Tech Marine? And Saber has also expressed that they want to bring a chaplain to Space Marine 2. But the way that the narrative works in the operations for this game is you have to think about, they set up each class as its own unique character, right? With its own unique name. So in my opinion, the next class that's going to be in this game is going to be a Justiciar. Because a Justiciar is an apprentice, basically an apprentice chaplain, right? So if a Justiciar is an apprentice chaplain, it makes him unique. It makes him a non-command unit, because then he's not the chaplain of the 2nd Company Ultramarines, which is Leandros, obviously. And it allows them to add in a chaplain-type character without putting that command unit in Space Marine 2. And he uses the two-handed greatsword, which they've already expressed that they want to bring to the game. So I think that's going to be the next class in Space Marine 2. I think that's going to be the next weapon, or like primary weapon, pretty much. And I think it would be really fun because Justiciar is also a. They basically take a vow of silence while they study under their chaplain. So they don't talk at all, so they don't really have to add any voice lines. You know, they're already having issues with the current voice pack, so we don't want them to add any extra voice lines that they don't need to.
Beta generators are being swarmed. Halfway there, my lords.
Judiciary would be okay, make more sense as a playable. Give me the Greatsword and Lantern Judiciary, and I'm a happy boy. Yeah, they'll still be like Judiciary, low price of $4.99 for 400 voice lines of a dude making random grunting in 16 languages. That would be crazy work. Yeah, I'd rock a... I'd probably do like a... That's interesting to think about, actually. What class or what chapter would you make your Judiciary, right? Because what I like to do is I always like to have a... like an Ultramarines setup, because obviously they're the main chapter of this game. So I like to have Ultramarines. I also like to have Space Wolves, but Space Wolves don't really use Judiciaries more so. They have Wolf, I believe it's the Wolf Priest, which is like their chaplain variant. But I also do a Death Watch variant of every single character, right? So like for instance, my Tactical is an Ultramarine, my Assault is a Blood Angel, my Vanguard's a Space Wolf, my Bulwark is either a Dark Angel or a Black Templar, my Sniper is a Raven Guard, and my Heavy is an Imperial Fist. And sometimes I'll switch up, like I'll throw Salamanders in there, sometimes I'll throw White Scars in there, and then my Tech Marine is supposed to be an Iron Hand, right? So out of all those chapters, which one am I going to make a Judiciary? I don't know. I could move like the Imperial Fist to Bulwark, and then like the Dark Angel to Judiciary, right? But then my Bulwark would be a Black Templar, but I could, or no, my Heavy would have to be like a Salamander then at that point. So, pretty interesting. Yeah, Templar, Dark Angels, Blood Angels, and Ultramarines would be on top for Judiciary. Yeah.
A warp rift. It has started to open. Ancient brother, Squad Viridian is nearing the cathedral.
I am here. Some chasm stands between us.
Just don't have him be a Black Templar. That would be like a bread sandwich. Yeah. We were just talking about it, Harikusa. Black Templars just get so much glaze in this game. And they have awesome drip, of course. But they always be glazing the Black Templars. And that's why, like, for my Deathwatch kill team, I always like to have first founding chapters. Like, I want a whole squad of first founding chapters, and I feel like that's pretty cool.
Yourselves. me, brothers. Paths are clear and codex compliant.
These total differences cannot withstand my might. Morning, brother. We will join fighting you momentarily.
Find another way to the cathedral.
Boom. I love the executions in this game so much. Every time. They never get old. Especially on those fucking Chaos Spawn. With the power axe, man. You said, when I was a kid, I had a 3DO console. And your first experience with 40K was Space Hulk. I've heard such good things about Space Hulk. I really hope that, you know, they came out with that Space Hulk Deathwing game a few years ago, and as a first-person shooter, but the customization in it was so awesome. I really hope a company like Saber picks up that game and redoes it as a third-person shooter, like Space Marine 2, like Space Hulk Deathwing. Because if we had a third-person shooter Terminator Space Hulk game, that thing would go crazy. As much flack as Saber gets, if they took hold of that game and that IP for Space Hulk Deathwing and made it third person, that thing, it would be so sick.
As you will it, ancient brother, we will defend you. Cleanse the battlefield of all enemies.
Hellbrute spawn right here in front of me. Watch this. Oh no.
This senseless sorcery will not stand. Sharpshooters nullified.
There it is. See if I can aggro them. Come on, big boy. Here comes a Extremis spawn. Nice.
The path to the warp rift is open.
It'd be good for it'd be great for another game like that, but God forbid Saber does it. I don't know, man. I think they would do a good job. Ah.
I smite you back to the abyss. The fate becoming of such an abomination.
I would love an independent crew to make a game with universe similar to 40K because I have zero fate on any product related to Games Workshop. Damn. No faith. You know, my whole thing is like, regardless of all the the negative feedback that Saber does get about this game is still fucking peak, man. Like, that's my whole thing. Like, I still feel like this game is still so peak. My only gripe with the enemies in this game, I wish it wasn't Thousand Suns. Yeah. You know, if it was a different, maybe if it was like Dark Legion or Black Legion or, you know, World Eaters or something. I don't understand the Saber hate. This game is incredible. Yeah, there is some issues, but they clearly genuinely love this IP. Yeah, I would say so too. Like, I think they definitely are putting a lot of effort into this IP. I think they're starting to understand like how much this community cares, because they still stick around, you know? Like, the real ones in this community, they will play this game regardless if it's like really bad or not. But obviously they want to make it as good as possible. Yeah, I would say I think they made a mistake when it came to the I think they made a mistake when it came to the announcement and approval of Space Marine 3. They should have waited to announce it, right? But they got overly excited, and they were like, "Oh, we're so excited that we're already going to be able to make like the third game, like we did." Like, they basically like. They basically counted all their blessings before like the game was even like really like moving, right? I don't think they expected the response behind this game. You know, people have been waiting for this game for 13 years when it released in 2024. Like, I played the first Space Marine and I was like, hell yeah, I like shit. I got back into gaming because of this game. Like, I wasn't gaming at all, but I saw this was going to release in 2024. I bought a new Xbox. I bought, you know, all the stuff related even to gaming. Bro, they better fire on that Hellbrute. Damn. My guy is even firing on the Hellbrute. Yeah, but they jumped the gun. They jumped the gun. They said, oh my god, we had such a good release on Space Marine 2. Everything's going so great. We're going to announce it right away. And they basically played their hand and they told us, yo, we're moving all like the resources that just made this game so good over to the next game. So like now y'all are going to have to wait for like all the good shit. Like, you know, so they played their hand, which is kind of sucks ass, but people are still going to stick around for this game. And now what they have to do, what they have to do is they have to listen to the community with the feedback that are on like the ideas forums and stuff, and they have to implement like the modular customization. They have to implement all of the heraldry and color options. Like, if they don't do those things in Space Marine 3, it will completely flop. All these loyal people who are staying around playing Space Marine 2 every single day because they're loyal Warhammer 40k like fans, if they do not over exceed the expectations of the community, the game will completely flop. And don't get me wrong, I know that they're going to put microtransactions in Space Marine 3, but honestly, I'm here for it because if they have microtransactions, that means they have to keep producing content on a regular schedule. What's my opinion on the voice pack feedback and controversy? I think you should not buy the voice pack. I don't think it's worth it even for $5. I think they undercooked it as a cash grab, and they pretty much said it was a cash grab. You know, it probably should have been something they included in the season pass. No one, you know, people had asked them on the ideas forums to implement new heads and chapter-specific voices, but because they did it separately, they didn't need to rush the production of it. So they undercooked it, and now they get negative feedback for undercooking something they could have taken their time on and released in later patches with even more voices and heads. If they had waited like 1 to 2 patches after patch 12, if they had waited 1 to 2 patches after patch 12 to release the voice pack DLC with like a whole set of like the first founding chapters, like in multiple different heads and stuff, like multiple different heads for Black Templars, multiple different heads for Salamanders and Space Wolves and stuff, people would be like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing, like you guys did such a good job. But because they did 3, they rushed it, they paid for voice actors, and then they said on top of that that if they had done even more voice lines, it would have cost us $25. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, it's not adding up. It's like, it's not adding up, right? So yeah, they undercooked that shit. They probably will not listen much. They run as corporation. They will ignore what they don't think will bring less cash. They are running game studios as an office, spreadsheets, and deadlines. Yeah, I mean, they have to do that sort of stuff as a corporation, but at the same time, like, if they don't listen to the community, they're just going to continue getting negative feedback, and nobody's going to play their game. And like I said, the game will, like, Space Marine 3 will flop if they do not meet or exceed the expectations of the community because of how early they announced it and how much they're not, like, how much they're, I guess, not including in this game, like not including lightning claws or a single lightning claw, right? You already have the base model for a power fist. You know, you have the capabilities to do new movesets and executions for every melee weapon. Let's, like, if we were to really think about the melee weapons that have come out after release, so we had the Power Axe, which was a brand new weapon, and the Omniscient Axe, okay? Both of those pretty much took 6 months to fully create, like, if you really think about it. Like, let's say the production of the Power Axe started, like, a little later than, like, the release, the base release of the game. It probably took about 6 months, because on the release of the Power Axe, it probably took 6 months to get the Omniscient Axe, right? And that's just for one class. So if it takes about 6 months, and they announced Space Marine 3 way ahead of time and stuff, like, they better have a full array of melee and range weapons going into that game. With full executions, like, full everything. Yeah, if they do what the community would love, they, like some indie development companies do, they will be successful. Absolutely, 100%. Every single game in the entirety of the gaming industry, if they have listened to the feedback of the community and implemented the feedback that the community wanted, their game is a massive success, right? But it's gaming companies thinking they're better than the players just because they're the ones creating the game is what leads them to ruin. It's like pride. Like, they're too prideful. Like, oh, we're not going to implement that because this, that, and the other thing. Like, no, stop making excuses. Like, you have the means and capability. Just do it. Obviously, there's overhead from Games Workshop to say you can and cannot do certain things because it's Games Workshop's IP. But you have to figure out a solution to that. Don't just write it off. Try and figure out how you can work it in. And if they're not doing that already, then, well, then they're fucking cooked. I can't understand how few people in the modern, or how, I can't understand how people in the modern industries run with boomer logic. It's just pride and arrogance. That's all it is. Like, if you think about, like, for instance, think about super successful games like like the one I always go back to, I feel like, is the Halo series, like Halo Reach, right? Halo Reach was one of the most successful Halo games of all time. And what did they do? They gave access to the players to do basically whatever they wanted to do. The amount of customization in that game was insane, right? You could create full-blown maps, your own game modes, your own, like, everything. You could do everything in Reach, right? And that was on console and PC. And it was just a massive success. Now, there are other games outside of that that maybe didn't have, like, an IP before. Like, for instance, the one that didn't have, like, an IP before, but then transitioned and made adjustments based on the community's feedback is, like, Gears of War, right? Like, the early Gears of War. On the release of Gears 1, that game was fucking peak because nobody had ever seen anything before, like, Gears of War 1. By the time they got to Gears of War 3, they were getting way more and more and more feedback. Like the implementation of Horde mode. Like, that was one of the first games that ever had a Horde mode. And when they implemented Horde mode at first, there were some obvious issues, but then the community gave them feedback on how to implement new stuff into Horde mode, and it got even better by, like, Gears 3. And it was, I'm pretty sure that was Epic Games, right? Like, Cliff Bleszinski. But once Cliff Bleszinski and Epic Games sort of moved away from that IP, and another company took over, that's when it started to go downhill, because they had that same, like, boomer type logic where it was like we're going to implement something and you're going to like it, or you're going to like it and we're not going to change it. And that's why Gears 4 and Gears 5 and Gears of War Judgment were pretty shit. Right? But then, like, Cliff Bleszinski went and started, like, a whole new IP in Fortnite. And look at Fortnite now. Like, Fortnite is, like, the most popular game, maybe of all time, right? Except for maybe some PC games or something. But in Fortnite, they have microtransactions, and they do content every single month, like, even, like, every single week, I think, at this point. They update that shop like crazy. And it just gives more content to the players. It gives more people more opportunities to play the way they want to. But they're still playing within the same system. Yeah, Tony Hawk Pro Skater spent like 100 hours on map create. Yeah, bro, you could literally just go in and create a map and then log off, and then the next day you come back and you actually run it. Or you go back to map creating. Or, for instance, like Minecraft, bro. Minecraft might be one of the most popular games of all time, because it's just for the players. It's for the players, right? I thought devs have, like, new topics per hour to read through, so you need staff of 50 people to actually read through all of it. I spent 30 minutes and read through all ideas. Yeah, like, it's not super tough, and obviously they have other things that they have to work on, right? Saber has multiple games and multiple IPs that they're working on at the same time, but, like, they're not bringing in the same type of revenue that Space Marine is. Like, there was a discussion that some other creators had on Space Marine, and the company or the corporation that owns Saber Interactive, and they went through, like, their earnings report, and their earnings report was specified that all of their revenue was being generated from, like, their backlog of games, which basically means games that have already released. And the biggest generating game for Saber Interactive and their parent company is Space Marine 2 right now, right? So you need to invest into the areas that are making you the most money. Do you have other games that you're coming out with, like, what's that game? Like, it's that road construction game, or that construction game they got, and Toxic Commando. Like, do we really think those games are going to beat out Space Marine 2 for revenue generation? Absolutely fucking not. Yeah, updates every few days or weeks. There's always new content. Every single time I play Fortnite, if I ever do, it's always new. Every single time I log on, there's something new in the shop. New collabs, new superhero skins, all that shit. So that's how Saber needs to operate with this game. Because this game can draw such a massive crowd from people who are just interested in, like, action shooters, right? Like, doesn't matter if it's first person or third person. The look of this game, the gameplay loop, all those things could draw in any type of player, right? Especially, like, the executions and how, like, sick everything looks. If you have new content every few weeks, like, it will blow up. Just look at the response that people had on the single 15-minute secret level episode for Warhammer 40k. No, I hope they don't go the Fortnite way in terms of pricing. But they do have to, I think they do have to go the microtransaction route. And I do, honestly, hot take, but I do think they need to implement more FOMO events. I do think so, honestly. Because it creates a level of exclusivity. And it creates that urge to get people to play during a certain period of time, right? Now, if they went the FOMO route, what Space Marine 2 needs to do, because they said they were going to do this and they haven't implemented it in a good way. If they're going to go the FOMO route with, like, community events where they're releasing exclusive cosmetics, they have to add those cosmetics into the Accolade shop in a reasonable amount of time. Like, there are a bunch of cosmetics and weapon skins that were, like, Twitch drops from last year that they still haven't added into the Accolade shop. Like, here, I'll show you. The biggest one of the biggest ones that's like a FOMO, that was a FOMO event that they haven't added to the Accolade shop, is this chainsword skin. The Mark 11 Hell's Teeth. This is the chainsword skin for that Titus used in the campaign in the prologue mission, like his Deathwatch chainsword skin. This was a Twitch drop last year, and they still haven't added it into the Accolade shop. And then, like, the current Twitch drops, which are available over on my Twitch right now, those are reruns from, like, a couple months ago. I think there's good and bad, or there's pros and cons to Twitch drops, right? Twitch drops allow people to take a look at a game that maybe they've never seen before and watch a content creator who might be underexposed, like they don't get enough exposure, to bring more people into the game. But the con is you have to go, you're, like, required to go and watch for 2 hours, you know, or, like, put up a stream and mute it for 2 hours straight to get a Twitch drop, which is definitely a con. The Vanguard Infiltrator helmet. Yeah, that's really strange. What do we want to play? I do want to play Tech Marine. to be fair, most streamers are boring and have nothing to look at. You know, I can understand that. That's a fair take. You know, there's a lot of content creators out there that maybe are just streaming their gameplay, and they don't talk, they don't bring topics to the table, they don't bring value to their content, right? Like, the biggest thing that when I decided to make content around Space Marine 2, it was because I was playing it every day, and I was really interested in the cosmetics, number one, but also the gameplay and how I could teach people how to beat the harder missions, like create builds to help them get through the hardest difficulties, because not everyone is not everyone is like a hardcore player like I am. Like, I like to play hard difficulty missions because I think it's fun. Most people in this game are casual players. They just want to log on, they want to get that power fantasy, and they want to kill Xenos and purge for the Emperor, right? So I was like, how can I provide value? So my YouTube videos, I structured that around providing value to the people who watch my videos. Like, I'm going to teach you how to make a lore accurate build, because I know there's a group, a niche in the community of Warhammer 40k that is like lore accuracy over everything. I want all my characters to look consistent. I want them to look like the actual tabletop models. I want them to look like the concept art and look like the descriptions that are in the lore and in the books that I read for Warhammer 40k. And I was like, I love that. Like, I love making my character look how they're supposed to look in this universe, because I think it's just so cool. So that's where I started making like the lore accurate cosmetic builds for specific characters. And then with the gameplay stuff, it's teaching people how to make like a build that will actually help them get through a mission and not like be sweating through an absolute difficulty mission. You know, are there going to be times where a build's not going to work perfectly for every single player just based on a skill issue? Of course. But if they have the means to create a build that actually works, they have a better chance of completing that mission. We're going to run this one, Exfiltration. Perfect parry or block deals significant damage to enemy, but window is smaller. We're going to take a Fencing Omniscient Axe. I could also take a Block Power Axe, but I just played Block Power Axe. When did patch 12 actually come out? The game right now is updated like every 3 months, pretty much. Because patch 12 came out at the end of November? And then patch 12 just came out at the end of February. Patch 11 came out in November. It was either November or September. September was patch 10 for their birthday. I'm getting my dates mixed up. Oh, wow. Watch this. Look at this. It's a mess. I'm gonna let my Vanguard pick him up. zone throw behind me. I'm in a bad spot right here. Terrible spot. It's a terrible spot. It's a terrible spot. Oh. Alright, I need to get out of here.
Smart Xenos filth. It knows when not to strike. Tunnels towards our position.
Gotta hide. Low key.
Готов сканировать.
You said you prefer to be a jack of all trades. So if my team is lacking, I can carry. That's why I usually play as tack, but not always carry stalker bolt rifle. Oh, that makes sense.
Fresh ammunition acquired. Cycling cartridges.
I've only recently subbed, although watch your vids for a while. I knew that I look blur accurate paint job. It will. Oh, hell yeah. I think there's someone in here, like another guy. I think his stuff is set to Russian. Like if I look right here. Or let me just mute.
This location provides sufficient advantage against the Trigon.
How did that hit me? That wasn't even aimed at me. Oh, bro, you gotta be kidding me.
Speed up and stay close.
That's some BS. No, I think his audio was just coming through his mic. Sniper spam is crazy in this patch, so that's one thing.
Trigon breaches the sands.
Hold
keep it
position and
moving.
fend off the beast.
A lift station lies just ahead, Viridian. Considering the Trigon's presence is incidental to our objective, utilize the lift to re-rack closer to Meteor's keep. Our gratitude, Magos Galio, for the expedited route.
Where even is that sniper? What a dead.
Remain patient. Transport.
Perplexing. I have transmitted no authorizations. Do not linger too long at any one spot.
Transport lift status. Incomprehensible. Begins, ceases. Begins, ceases.
Wait out the lift while rotating positions.
Has arrived.
Rally at the lift.
Yeah, I'm coming. Run! Oh, bro. Oh, that's right. There's no contested health regeneration. That's why we're dying so easily. Contested health cannot be restored by any means, but squad members do not receive mortal wounds. Dang. Brutal modifier, honestly.
Ignoel Metrian welcomes you to Longinus Gamma Bio Research Facility. Please do not disturb the lift. It would be a waste. I have no music to play while you descend. Use the silence to contemplate your futile, brutal existence in service to a desiccated cause.
Never have I encountered a servo skull that speaks in such a manner.
Viridian, the servo skull is enslaved to an unknown master. I am...
Irritant signal silenced. Continue to discuss your fate amongst yourselves. It changes nothing.
Ignore the servo skull, brothers. It is clearly malfunctioning.
A suggestion: abandon
Clearly.
Gallio's misguided vendetta against the Magos biologists. Do you know what Gallio and Metrian achieved together in the past? Ask about Project Zeta 6 if you ever speak to him again.
Were I bothered by the servo skill's insistence, all of a sudden shooting myself.
Extra scrutiny. And so does whomever tampered with it.
Servo skull serves the Imperium beyond their lifespan. Remember that, brothers.
Son of Gibbon.
Gotta go.
I was worried you had fallen victim to Metrian's mastery of malphonic disruptive frequencies, but now the uncomfortable sensation associated with relief cools my remaining skin. Be warned, Viridian. Metrian cannot hope to stand against you alone, so she will lie and store in hope the Xenos swarm will devour. Case in point, she has enslaved that servo skull as a crude mouthpiece. But give her word zero credibility for the mission's sake. And your own. I trust you will hold this Ignoel accountable for her sins, Magos.
You love how emo the servo skull is? Yeah. Servo skull can kick rocks.
Cyclic cartridges. This tarantula is still battle-worthy.
Okay, I don't know how I...
Does your aiming system need calibration? Rearming walking.
Raptor Space deep scan ready.
Ready to assault.
Magos, we have a Trigon complication.
It seeks to drown us in sheer numbers. Statis, the facility is well stocked in mining gear. Requisition melter charges to eradicate the tunnels and halt the infestation. Tunnel destroyed. Melter charge source, brothers. Melter charge source. We can proceed. Xenos tunnel system has collapsed.
Onwards, brothers. brothers, towards the objective.
Inside the facility.
Oh, my ping is
you'll
terrible
find
right now.
Demetria cowering in her data enclave.
Gallia, old friend of mine. If you missed our binaric discourses, you could have sent communication. I observe you still pathetically cling to thews of soft tissue. Remember, meat lacks efficiency, whereas metallic alloys stave off corrosion and degradation for far longer.
How far you have fallen, Noel, that I must drag you back into the light.
3 meat lackeys seems like overkill, Gallia.
No wonder my parries aren't
Think too highly
going
of me.
game perfect.
That variable shall perish here, devoured by the Tyranids. And you do not care.
Mitrian shut down power to the uplink terminals. You must resupply the generator with a backup power cell. She hopes the Tyranids will annihilate you, but she underestimates the second. We shall seek out the power cell at once.
I beseech you, Galio. Bear witness to the summation of our divine arithmetic from long ago. Remember Project Zeta 6?
As my theorems predicted, your life vector has converged with renegade factors, and Zeta 6 was a waste of computational resources and one perfectly good Grox. Surrender now, and perhaps leniency can be granted. After the
Terrible
fight,
spot to be in.
of course.
You are a redundant functionary. Your Astarte shall die here, alone, in the dark.
Seek a power cell, brothers.
Wow. Terrible spot to be in. There's no CHP regen either. That's brutal.
Locate a power cell. We shall see to this ourselves.
CHP. It's a brutal modifier.
Changing magazine. The hive mind reels from the Zoning Throat's death trap. Stand anew. Where is that power cell? Power dwells within this device. Hurry, brothers. The generators need power cells. Bring it to scan.
Converge on Lucas.
Is it that one? No, it's this one.
This power cell should work.
These generators need power. Repurposing
Light and darkness. How easily flesh paths deceive perception.
disrupt her attempts to connect with our facilities network. Mitrin will seize any opportunity to damage crucial data which will deem this mission a failure. Do not let her connect to the consoles.
We shall have every last thought in our head to dissect.
I am copies of copies, backups of backups, and I degrade not. You have already
Archer, so what are you talking about, bro?
Secure that console room.
Your chicken. Your current chicken. That's a lot of chickens.
We darkened this console, brothers.
Return to Mitrin's containment unit. See, Mitrin, the more you thrash, the deeper you set our boats.
These technologies and Astartes flesh have accomplished nothing, Gallia. My machinations are already achieving my designs. You are fools, peasants.
Silence, Mitrin. Meridian, confirm possession of her quivering mass of computational gray matter.
This grey matter is in our class.
Pilot, Meridian is ready for evacuation. Sending updated extraction coordinates to you now.
Fresh magazine in. Planting melting.
Replenishing ordnance. I can restore this sentry's operational status.
Even with a fencing weapon on the surgical strike modifier, you have to wait until the exact last moment before they hit you to actually like make that work. I don't know why he just took that restorative stim, because you can't get any CHP back in this modifier.
Understood.
That sucks.
No storms shall delay us in. All-state scan confirms this is the correct vector.
Oh, there's a Ravner on me. Oh, regenerative stim does like 5% HP or a bit more. I thought it only regenerated your contested health up, and then you obviously have to get back your contested health through range or melee damage. Melta? Oh, bro.
Obliterate every last odious scourge!
Sterilize these burrows of Cedos.
Strike incoming, brothers!
I don't know if there's any ammo boxes around here either.
Trigon kill confirmed.
Got him with the axe.
Congratulations.
Oh, man. Pretty solid. Pretty happy with that one. Oh. What's next, though? I'm stuck in a loading screen, of course. I want to try out that new combat knife. The new heroic combat knife. I got it with accolades, but I haven't tried it yet. Might do a Deathwatch tactical. A Raptor's Tech Marine colors. Let me look into that. So, the thing about successor chapters is I am less familiar on them. But there's only a few different chapters that don't use the Codex compliant rules when it comes to like a Tech Marine. For example, like the Iron Hands don't use the same Codex compliant rules for Tech Marine. The Space Wolves don't use the same Codex compliant rules for Tech Marine. Black Templars, same thing. Salamanders, I believe, have a little bit of a different take on their rules regarding Tech Marine. Let's actually look into this together. Let me switch you guys over. They are not Codex compliant in colors at all. For the Raptors, So this is what I'm seeing when I do a Raptors Tech Marine search. This is what I see straight away, right? I see like standard Raptors colors, and then like a red pauldron maybe. But then I also see. Like pictures. Yeah, so this is like Raptors colors. Oops. Oh, that's cooked. Like if I'm just on Reddit right here, right? With like a red pauldron. So obviously this wouldn't be like fully codex compliant. Because codex compliance for Tech Marines would be red armor, the red armor of Mars, and then their chapter color on the left pauldron. They do go with environmental camo and can't care less about campaign pauldron. That's true. Yeah, Raptors are one of those chapters that are very unique because they do a lot of like jungle warfare, right? So sometimes they have a very different look. But like for instance, the Sons of Medusa, their Tech Marine is like very, very different because theirs is mainly based off their chapter colors because it's a completely different like name, right? So like Sons of Medusa are successors of the Iron Hands, and their Tech Marines are called Forge Rights, or at least like their high standing Tech Marines are called Forge Rights. So if I look up, like if we go here, Warhammer Wiki is goated. Goated. Let's look up Forge Right. Yeah, Forge Right is officer of Sons of Medusa, Space Marine chapter, which is comparable to a Tech Marine of Codex Osiris compliant chapters. The chapter is ruled by the Iron Thanes of the three war clans that act in concert to control the chapter as its council, as the chapter has no single master since the passing of their founder, Iron Father Stello Solex. Let's see here. Yeah, there's not too much information. So that's sort of what I'm seeing with like a Raptors Tech Marine. Interesting. You saw colors. As a rule of thumb, I feel like the Raptors, like you said, they go more so with the environment that they're based on. So like if they're deployed to a death world and it's a lot of lava and ash, like they'll adapt their armor color to meet that or to match that. But I wouldn't be surprised if they still had like a red Cog Mechanicum pauldron showing their Tech Marine status. What's the other one? Like if I were to look up like Salamander's Tech Marine. I feel like theirs is going to look very different. Yeah, basically like green armor, red helmet, red backpack, black backpack. So theirs is in line less with codex compliance. There's some really cool concept art out there, like something like this. Deathwatch Salamander Tech Marine. Like, that looks sick as fuck. Let's look at Deathwatch Tech Marines. There's so many different ones. This photo is like so sick. Like, I think this is a white scar. Oh wow, bad quality. Black Templar Tech Marine. This is a. I don't know what this is. Ugh, I really want to make a Deathwatch Tech Marine so bad. Carcharodon's Tech Marine. Oh, here's another Salamander's one, but Deathwatch. Look at that. With like the single arm Thunderhammer. They really should bring a single handed Thunderhammer to Space Marine 2. I feel like that would be such a cool weapon. It would go much better with like the Bulwark Storm Shield if we had a one handed Thunderhammer. Oh, that's Grimaldus. Forge Master. Deathwatch Forge Master. Iron Priest. Tech Marine and Gravis Armor. Like, what is this? Iron Krakens? Iron Krakens? Hmm. I used all I can Reddit AI, folks. I came up that it will go all green, and to make the right pauldron a different green to make it stand out. The red. I feel like you would have to make the right pauldron at least red. Often Codex is a strong suggestion, not imperial law that's enforced with an iron fist like smoking in public. Yeah, exactly. Even Titus is, he even is sort of within that mindset about the Codex Astartes, and he's an Ultramarine. I can't see Carcharodons to even have a Tech Marine. Oh yeah, they have Tech Marines for sure. They got to take care of all that Mark V armor that they got. One-handed hammers for Terminators only because you can't sell it as a mini. No, I've definitely seen a single-handed Thunderhammer on Standard Marines before. I feel like that Aryan Pharos model. Like if we go Ultramarines, like Captain of, I think it's like the 5th Company or something. Yeah, like this. Captain with Jump Pack and Relic Shield. He has a single arm Thunderhammer. Like imagine that on Assault versus a two-handed Thunderhammer with a Storm Shield. That'd be badass. Or if we take a look at, where's that one model? Yeah, they're the Terminators with single arm Thunderhammers. Maybe it's not available yet. Because I think even the Captain and I guess that's standard Mark 10 Tacticus. Let me go to Warhammer Community. Here we go. Captain Farron Arios. Captain of the sixth company. He uses single hand Thunderhammer. Yeah, that would be so sick. There was one point where they said something along the lines that people were requesting, obviously, to add the Power Axe and the Power Sword to the tactical class, right? And there was a point where they had stated something along the lines of, we love this idea, but we're thinking about something more complicated. And I was like, what do you mean more complicated or more complex? What do you mean by that? Like, what could you add to the tactical as an additional melee weapon that would be more complex than just adding the Power Axe and the Power Sword? Yeah, they won't add the one-handed hammer in Space Marine 2 because they want to push models, and if they're going to push models, they want to push it on the Terminators that you like, the Assault Terminators. You're 100% right, Harakusa. They have great variety, but Judiciar with iconic Sand Clock and two-handed sword will slap hard, not like just cool Marine with a yeah, absolutely. I agree. Judiciar. Like I'm pretty dead set. Judiciar will be the next class in Space Marine 2, and he will have a two-handed greatsword, and I think they could definitely add two-handed greatsword, power sword, and maybe something else. Maybe a power axe to him. Like, if they gave him those three melee weapons, sidearm, and then the Temper Mortis as his special ability, I would love that. I would love to see that. Don't they have this low-key Star Wars lightsaber? What do you mean by that? I've never heard of that, ever. Star Wars lightsaber? It looks like a power tool brain dead robo dudes use. What? What are the other missions available? Servitors. A power tool that servitors use? No, I don't think they would put that as a melee weapon. Like a plasma cutter? Let's do... Yeah. See, that's why I'm like what is Saber talking about? They're gonna add in a more complex weapon than just adding the power axe and the power sword to the Tech Marine. Just makes no sense. Let's do a power axe, heavy bolt rifle. I did see people were asking if the grenade launcher counts as equipment. I don't think it does. Block power axe, plasma. Sentry turret build. Servo gun recharge rate increases by 25% when you're near an active Tarantula sentry gun. Tarantula sentry gun damage increases by 30% and ammo by 50%. See, no knockback on this class is just so vital, though. Burn. My triceps are ungodly, bro. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that, man. Only more unique are what Assassinorium use, or how you call those assassins from Terra. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. They have goofy arms like blow darts. Oh, okay. Interesting. We'll do Augmented Tarantula, Synergistic Arsenal. And a Reinforced Position. But then I have, like, no knockback. Do I get no knockback on my power axe? Damn, bro, you were thugging out wearing a jeans vest? Damn. So I could take power stance, confidence stance, patience stance, don't lose contested health. Gun strike from power stance deals 20% more damage. Power backstep wave, melee damage against a Minoris level. See, I just feel like the bottom row for the power axe is just better overall. It's just better. Unless you're going for a strictly like a gun strike build. I just don't think it's worth it to take Synergistic Arsenal. Because here's the thing about Synergistic Arsenal. The Tarantula sentry guns are typically not in the greatest spots, right? They're usually when you're you're going up to a Tarantula sentry gun, you get hit by a wave before you get there. So to actually get the buffs of a 25% increase to your recharge rate for your servo gun, you basically have to run past all the enemies, activate your sentry gun, and then start fighting, versus fighting your way into the sentry gun. Let's do something like this. We're just going to do straight up operation. Inferno. Tarantula are 90% in bad locations or behind the packs. It barely is worth taking prestige perk where you are immune during activation. I don't know. I do think that the prestige perk Indomitable, where you're immune during activation, you should pick up always, though, because it can save you at times. Like, for instance, if there's a boss spawn and you're getting swarmed, you can, like for instance, if you're against like a Neurothrope or something, and you're getting swarmed and you're taking range damage from Neurothrope, you can activate the sentry gun, let that range, like his range attacks, get through, and then get back in the fight. Plus, then you have fire from the Tarantula. Oh, are these both salamanders? Should I switch this up real quick? Can I move this real fast? Can I do this real fast? They weren't gonna let me do it. Sure, if you are in balls to the walls mood, make full on Tarantula build. Yeah, because sometimes I'll use that Indomitable perk just to let enemy damage past me, and then be able to get back into the fight when there's less range spam coming at me. Let me look at that Salamanders thing again. Salamander's Tech Marine. Lol. Yeah, it's pretty much this, what I got right here. Master of the Forge. Salamanders are such a great chapter. They get no fucking love, man. No love for the Salamanders. Like, they got one chapter decal for the knee. Bruh. Cooked.
Quarters, reporting for duty. I crave a bloodbath, or a blood shower. We follow in the footsteps of Gilliman.
Don't delay my team. I wanted to go lore accurate with them. Both of them were salamanders. I wanted to go with the salamander look. That would have been awesome. 3 salamanders. Like, if 2 guys are already a specific chapter, if I can make it, like, real quick, and they want to take, like, 2 seconds, I'll try and make make it where I can go lore accurate with them. Yeah, so what are you saying? Don't delay your team. You're like, yeah, I also swap if 2 other guys are the same chapter. Come on, brother. Ah, fa. World Eater with the arms exposed? Yeah. If I was Chaos, but I'm a loyalist, man. I'm a loyalist. For the Emperor only. I honestly don't really like fuck with Chaos that much. Like at all, really. Yeah. Chaos, like the Chaos lore just doesn't entertain me. I think I'm just gonna jump in Inferno solo and see if anyone ends up joining me.
Your mission is to use the stored promethium in the refinery to destroy the enemy swarm. Acadians were tasked with providing assistance, but we have since lost contact. First, proceed to the Acadian outpost and establish their fate. You must then infiltrate the refinery and complete demolitions deployment. Trigger detonation only when the main swarm has entered the blast zone. Captain Akaram will coordinate our efforts over Vox.
I have been dying to carve up some seals.
Final organism spotted. Large Tyranid organism destroyed. Cycling cartridges.
The plasma just takes him out so quick. See, like, this sentry gun doesn't help me at all. Like, it's only gonna cover my ass, but if it explodes by the time I go past it, you know, it's not even worth it.
Throwing frag. Replenishing ordnance. Monstrous seal surrounding you. Shut down their corporations at sea. Cycling cartridges. Frag grenade out.
Okay.
Activating tarantula sentry gun.
See, this one I knew I wanted to activate it because there's an extremis coming in, so it's like, it's worth it to take damage on the zoanthrope. And it's drawing aggro from it too, so it's like... So that, in this situation, it's very worth it to activate that sentry gun. Then it explodes. Oh look, a relic.
Your messiah's gifts are sometimes unfair. Rearming walking. Restoring sentry to battlement status. Enemy units call for backup.
Approaching the Astra Militarum camp. It is deadly quiet. Reporting in. The team has arrived at the Imperial Guard.
Talassa, you need to acquire the Astra Militarum demolition codes required to deploy and arm their ordnance. Source one from any soldier you see, alive or otherwise.
Brothers, I hope you're having better luck.
And I can just eat that range damage right there.
Codes are up here.
I have the codes, brothers. Captain, the demolition codes are secured.
Proceed to the Prometheum refinery and complete the demolition preparations.
Wait, nothing, brothers. Be ready. Made a path. This is where we sow the enemy's defeat, brothers. Fresh cut.
This tarantula is still battle-worthy.
Well, actually, I have boss spawn, so I want to stay near my tarantula now. They're going to be spawning over here. Take out the zone throw easily. Look at that Carnifex just going down. No chance. Look. Ho ho. Oh, shit.
Gratitude, brother. Activating tarantula sentry gun.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the tarantula takes damage from the bramble. Look at this guy all the way over here.
Inserting fresh magazines.
Yo, what is this guy doing?
Talassa, Cadians are running out of time. How close are you to the Prometheum facility? Entering the refinery, Command. You are making good time. We are going to need it.
better not dig under the door.
Looks like preparations were close before the guard was wiped out.
Use the codes to prime the bomb and finish its deployment into the critical
The plasma burn build is just so strong with Tech Marine. Like, it's kind of comical, honestly. Except for, like, like, if you just apply plasma burn to, like, just a couple of your enemies, it's, like, automatic dead.
cycling cartridges.
And that's just a little plasma burn.
This tarantula is still battle-worthy.
Resupply.
Munitions replenished.
Deployment has begun.
Rites of activation have been observed. The generators hum in the machine god's name. Crane sequencing initialized. Delivering payload. We must intercept the generator soon. Disruption of operation generation. Bring it into the precise proper alignment. X-axis aligned. Running on the side's wheel. Potential electrical sabotage generated. Secure immediately.
Area clear.
Replenishing ordnance. Intercept the swarm. Nearly generate the fall.
Oh, shit. I just got lit up by 2. That.
Fresh ammunition acquired. Demolition deployment sequence concluded. Elevators locked under the Omnissiah's functional oculus. Bomb is in place, Command. There is an observation platform overlooking the Cryptomethium fields. It will make a good vantage for your ambush.
Full specs triumph. No telling what surprises await.
I wouldn't be surprised if they ended up nerfing burn damage in this game. It's just so good. On the Pyre Blaster, on the Pyre Cannon, on the Tech Marine Plasma, and just in general. Burn damage is just crazy.
Reloading. Restoring sentry to battle-ready status. We have arrived at Nozick's facility. Run distraction efforts as long as you can.
On my honor, I will ensure your mission is a success.
I will hold you to
Nice and done.
Stay close and sharp.
Yeah, it'll be a shadow nerf. They won't even say it on the next patch notes.
Setting thermal charge. All specs ready to scan.
What's this guy doing? See, the Neurothorpe is screaming, and I activate my sentry, and I barely take any damage from that.
Cycling cartridges.
Take heart. The flame will stand against it. Better than any war. No telling what surprises await. Main swarm sighted. We await your signal, Captain.
Where are my sentry
Dig in.
guns?
We need that bomb triggered for
One over here?
optimal yield. Orbital scan estimates the bulk of the swarm will not be in position for a while yet. Keep your heads and get it done.
I see them coming, brothers. Plenty for everyone. Mark this position. Reform is broken. Light is when ready. Initiating burn.
The bulk of the swarm is continuing along the predicted path. Continue holding. Caution, the refinery is no longer secure.
Boom. No way.
We have more enemies on the horizon, brothers. Area denied secure and ready for ignition. Burning materials.
The swarm has almost fully committed. Be ready for my mark.
Just shoot them right out of the air. Huh! Look at that guy.
You are clear to detonate. Cook those rotten bastards.
Yes, Captain. You heard him.
For the Emperor. For the Omniscient Emperor. Valiant to Titus. Tyranid biocides down 90%.
Watch me get jumped by a lictor right here.
Swarm annihilation confirmed. Excellent work. Move to extract.
What'd I say? Didn't I say I get jumped by a lictor? Did I not say I would get jumped by a lictor right there?
Returning to orbit.
At the last second, always. Huh, what a bastard.
Commendable work, brothers. You honored your chapter. Be ready for rearm, refit,
Oh, man.
and redeployment immediately.
Oh, and that guy blew himself up with the gene seed at the end. What a clown ass. That's mad funny. All right. I think I'm going to call it there for today. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Last day for drops. So make sure you get your drops in game. Yeah. We're definitely going to be streaming more often. And new video tomorrow, new video today. The videos are rolling out. So definitely stay on the watch for new videos dropping as frequently as possible. Definitely as frequently as possible. Again, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And I will see all of you guys in the next one.